Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your StockMiner, Brian Johnson. And we wandered sideways all day long, much as we expected. Mentioned that in yesterday's video. Sure enough, that's what we got. We had the big announcement Wednesday, huge move. Actually, Wednesday afternoon, there was a huge move as well into all day Thursday, which was straight up. And then, of course, just a consolidation day today. Now, if you're an Elliottian 1, 2, this is a 3, hasn't finished 3, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The point is, I'm not sure that this pattern is complete yet. So we might have a little bit more of a push up here, and then we might see some sort of a pullback. We'll watch closely on the pullback. Will it be an extreme pullback? Will it be just a minor pullback? Point being, I think we're going to come back right into this area here, probably sometime next week. On the daily, you can see, of course, the big move on Thursday, day after the Fed made its announcement. And then they started pumping the markets. I think a lot of that going into the banks, as would be expected. But point is, we moved up, we base sideways as market waited for the news. That is always neutral to bullish. Sure enough, it broke up, which is still bullish. So if you've been hanging with me, been following me, you'll know that even from the point we started heading up here, I've been neutral to bullish, neutral to bullish, neutral to bullish all the way up. I've been cautiously bullish, granted, but I have not yet become any kind of a major bear in the markets, for good reason, as you can see. There's just no reason. The charts will tell you when and where to make your moves. You've got to know how to listen to them. They will tell you everything you need to know. This is not voodoo rocket science that I do here. It's just a lot of patience and a lot of really good understanding. So here we move sideways. NASDAQ up, base sideways. Look at that, moving sideways. We didn't go anywhere after we got the big move up by the NASDAQ. But as it is, you can see we haven't actually approached anything either. Two little tiny doji days sitting up there. Have some lines drawn in for next week. But as it is, on the weekly now, which we can look at, way up for the week, up 3% on the week, even after this extended rally. So markets are in great shape from a bull side now. Going on to the SPX 60-minute, you can see 1, 2, 3, still doesn't look like it's complete. So little bit more of a move left here into the 1230, maybe even beyond that. Could potentially even reach 1250 if it wanted to just kind of bleed its way up for a few more days. That would not be out of the question here. But still more bullish than anything, way above the blue line. The big push up. We'll wait to see if it comes back, and when it comes back, to retest that blue line if it'll hold. But you can see 2 days squarely above the 1220 mark, precisely what the Fed wants from all of the pumping that they're doing. It's just what they want. Bullish markets. Everybody's happy. Go home over the weekend. Look at your portfolios. Go out, buy a new car. That's just how it's going to work, I'm sure. Probably not. But anyway, they think it will, so here we are. Up above this area, you can see 2 days in a row, a very strong last couple, well, I should say 1 day in particular. Today, once again, wandering sideways, but a strong week overall. You can see where we base below the 200. I'm sure a lot of people were looking at this thing moving to the downside. I even took out a little bit of a speculative short up here. And obviously, with the Fed talking, did not work out. But right up here around the 1225 mark, you can see we broke to new highs. So strong move by the bulls. No end in sight. VIX went nowhere. I guess that's to be expected today. Markets went nowhere, VIX went nowhere. So it's all about the same. Notice how we're still holding that blue line, waiting for the next move. Is it up? Is it down? It's anybody's guess. From a weekly, though, you can see still holding within the larger frame. Obviously, there's no fear in the markets by investors, especially on the option side. Everybody's still, as they have been, bullish as the VIX bleeds downwards. Apple on a 60 was up, but you can see where it held the 320 mark, where it ended yesterday, and just grinding its way sideways. It's still neutral to bullish. As long as it keeps going sideways, guys, Apple's looking good right now. Stuck at that underside of the blue line. We have now made a new high overall, above 319 to 320. So at any point, if you want to call this a pattern on the way up, the pattern is complete. So we'll see if that makes any kind of a difference going into next week. Apple has been, move up, pull back or move sideways, then up, then sideways, then up, then sideways. So now no reason to think anything but the same coming in next week. Watch below the 20-day. We'll talk more about that this weekend. But for overall for the week, Apple looked very good, pushing itself back up again. Closing at 317, but did just squeak a new high. Very strong by the markets. I think this might be where a lot of the Fed starts pouring some money too. So be watching that closely as each of these days on the month, called POMO days, start coming around. FAS on a 60-minute. It was up $1.40 today, but mostly sideways overall after all of the stuff ran down. You can see 2 days in a row. See, up above the 200, up again today. Good plays in both FAS and short plays in FAZ. This move up, this symmetrical triangle, I had mentioned that it was on my books more bullish in nature. Waited for the break. We got the break. Got above 23, got above the 200. Lots of entries for money. If you waited and were patient, you made some cash. Notice how the banks moved real well? Gee, you wonder why. You don't suppose that has anything to do with the government money at all, do you? Yeah, I think so too. On to FAZ on the drop below 11. Jeez, look at that. Below 1175 was my call. You can see on Thursday we got that beautiful entry. For those of you that held, you did very well on that. Very well on that. So if you've been following along, these are free trades, guys. I'm not charging you anything. I very rarely vocal spam you about my mentoring. I just want to make sure you guys understand that I do have other services. The subscribers newsletter and the mentoring are my two other services I offer. But I don't talk a lot about them, bring them up occasionally, and I give you plays like this. Gave you that entry to below 1175, and boy, it paid out well this week. Good buck 25. You could have pulled out of that. That is a lot on an $11 stock. So hopefully somebody made money on that play, either on FAZ to the downside or FAS to the upside. Apple also gave us a couple of plays. That was another one that I had called. We follow it every week, and it worked out very well for us once again on the charts. Once you follow the charts, you're going to be fine. From a daily, look at this. Drop, drop. Now this little pattern I had working here, gone. Adios. See you later. So we have the drop below this mark right here. Lines will be changed for the new week, and we will see you again on Sunday. Take it easy. Hope you made some money this week, and come visit me again Sunday. Got new stuff to talk about for the new upcoming week and what we could expect in the markets. And we will. I'm going to enjoy my weekend. This is supposed to be the last really nice weekend before it starts to get a little bit more chilly here in South Dakota. So I'm going to enjoy the weekend. I hope you guys have nice weather so you get a chance to enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you again on Sunday. Bye.